Hi everyone, welcome to this another amazing session of Season of Agents. So today our topic is one of the most intriguing as well as trendy. That is, can AI agents think and the role of reasoning in AI? So, without any further ado, let's dive into this session. Also, let me share with you some resources along the way so that you can refer uh, to them. Just a moment. Yeah, cool. Okay, so yeah, let's begin with can AI agents think? Okay, so in the like recent times we have had this long going conversation discussions as well as doubts which prompts us to question whether uh, the capacities of AI thinking can ever beat a human's uh, thinking abilities. So at the end of the day, it's a machine. Obviously, it's a program running on a set of uh, commands which prompts it to think outside of the box, but based on the patterns that it is trained on, obviously, right? So, our session will be focused on this particular topic at the moment that can AI agents think? So, uh, thinking in it itself, thinking is a broad term which encompasses everything from like uh, your imaginations as well as your logical reasoning. So, what makes humans differ themselves from this particular AI or any AI agent is that the ideas and the knowledge of any human is at the end original. Okay, so it is based on the original creativity of the uh, you like the creator, the humans. So the patterns or the commands that AI agents are based on are at the end of the day based are created by humans also, right? So let's go to the next slide and let's define thinking for AI. Let's understand what thinking refers to in terms of AI. So as you can see already on the screen that I have pointed four things here, which are operational definition, encompasses what it encompasses, what it excludes, like even a machine with high and well equipped AI knowledge base is not able to inculcate the consciousness of a human, the original knowledge base, right? So, and at the end, what it focuses on more. Okay, so goal directed problem solving and decision making is a very general and operational definition for thinking for AI, but in very layman terms, thinking for AI is as similar to as thinking for humans. Can humans think? Yes, we can. We can sit down and pen down like eight ideas within 8 minutes, 10 minutes, right? So the process that we follow while we generate ideas, while we think of things that are not introduced to world yet, that is the same. That definition is same for AI as well. The only difference is that AI at the end thinks on the basis of the patterns that it receives. Okay, then what it encompasses: learning, pattern recognition, prediction, adaptation. Pretty simple, right? But what AI can't do is it can't provide you originality, obviously. Then what it excludes? It excludes human consciousness, subjective experiences, or sentience. So, like, let me give you an example. You can talk to a chatbot. They may be trained to. talk back with you, to reply you with like emotions, etc. But at the end, those are just filtration of those AI agents. They are not emotionally dependent, or like they don't have that human consciousness within themselves originally. Okay, we can design AI agents that can train themselves based on a given pattern, based on a given data set, so that they can train themselves and go get into this particular thing. But at the end, AI agents can never like include the human consciousness. They can simulate, yes, but not provide the original consciousness. And the thinking for AI it moreover focuses on functional intelligence and philosophical awareness. So while as humans we think of things which can lead ourselves into like while we are thinking, we are taking everything around us as an example, and we try to like include everything that is happening around us and then focus it on like our thinking. But AI, it is more over focused on its functional intelligence and not like philosophical awareness. The reason is it's a machine at the end, right? So it cannot generate its own emotions. It cannot generate its own philosophies. It can only learn or introduce itself to them based on the pattern, obviously, right? So that uh, differentiates the thinking between humans and AI. Okay, now let's move to current AI capabilities. Okay, so what AI is currently doing is our question here. Okay, so pretty simple. It can recognize pattern. It can like have you can train a model which can like predict around 80 to 90% of diseases based on your symptoms accurately. But obviously it won't be very like it will always have a few errors in them. You cannot depend and you can not depend yourselves on the predictions given by AI models. Okay, then we have language operations. So we can see that like GTP4 scores in ninth percentile. So for example, language generation is moreover related to LLMs in AI. Okay, and LLMs in the recent times, since the introduction of RAG frameworks, etc., they have taken a huge leap over the conventional LLM methods and functionalities. So they can generate words, they can generate sentences, corpuses based on these based on the um, data they are being trained on continuously. Okay, so then we have strategic gaming. So AlphaGo defeated Go World Champion in 2016. If you might have seen recently that BGMI has introduced like AI bots so that you can train yourselves on this on that. Okay, so that is one of the key features of AI industry of AI in tech industry, that they can provide simulations that can help us grow in real industrial market. Okay, then we have predictive analytics. It's very like you might have seen that there are so many models out there who can predict your profit, your losses, which are based on your for example, AI study planner. So they can predict based on the amount of the duration of courses you have taken, and then based on that, they can provide the analysis, like how many times you were there, which hour of the day you are mostly focused on when it comes to learning, etc., etc. So predictive analytics is just an AI capability that it can do very uh, accurately. The reason is that AI can provide you. create mathematical solutions compared to humans. The only reason is that they are faster to calculate those. A human, while providing the same result, may take more time to do that, right? Then we have introduction to agents. So, well, there are so many types of agents, and there are so many. So let's break it down and go step by step. Autonomous entities. Okay, so what an AI agent does is they can perceive environment around them and act accordingly. Okay, for example, if they find, for example, let's take the example of AI study planner. If they find that you are not giving sufficient time to a particular subject, then they may plan courses, the next lessons accordingly, focused on those subjects, as well as the learning time, the duration of the day when you are most active for learning. Okay, so they can match those two analytics and then provide you a very skeptical lesson plan for the next day or the day onwards. Okay, so that's what AI agents do. They can perceive environments, they can understand things, not entirely, but they can understand things as a problem and then find a solution based on the functionalities that it already has. Okay, then we have reactivity. So AI agents react in real time environment. Okay, so for example, I have built an N10 automation. Okay, I'm just giving you an example of an automation. I built an automation. What it can do is it can connect itself to webhook. Then I can use builder or any framer or something, lovable IO for creation of a website. I can provide a prompt that it can go into webhook, and from webhook it can go to ChatGPT, my LLM or whatever my AI mind is. Then from there I can get a response based on the particular limitations that I set, and then I provide that solution back to webhook, and it can show it on the main page. Okay, so that's what an automation can do. So that forms the basis of AI agents. Now, what it does, I can, on an automation, I can create it an active automation. So what it does, I don't have to go back to my an automation all the time and restart it and start the server and then go back to my website and then create a, like, give it command and get an input, etc., etc. What an active automation does is it takes the prompt given to it in the real time, provides it the solution at the real time without any delay. So that's why AI agents have become more powerful recently, because they provide solutions in the real time compared to 3 to 4 years back when in 2021 ChatGPT was announced. uh, People used to think that, like, everything is changed, but within the span of these 5 years only, we can see that there are so many LLMs are there out there which can help you with particular things. For example, I can use Claude for like my coding purposes, okay? But because ChatGPT is not always well equipped for giving a perfect package or something to create a website. So comparatively, Claude is better at that. Claude is also somehow, in, like, some people say that Claude is also better in terms of analyzing the documents compared to ChatGPT. Well, it totally depends on the model that you are using. If it's ChatGPT 4.0, then maybe uh, you can get a very good result. But Claude is has always been very good at it. For then, if I want to create an image, I would always prefer to go on Mid Journey, not ChatGPT, obviously, right? So that's why the AI agents have become more powerful at this current age. Okay, then social ability, interact with other agents and humans. Recently, in recent IO event, you might have seen that we have been introduced to agent tasks and automations. So what it does is an agent takes an input, provides a solution to another agent that takes this input from this the former agent, and then provides it back to the user final result, or it provides it to like it passes it to another agent. So agent to agent capabilities. So recently in this year only we have been introduced to this technology which is taking shape in NX10 automation itself. The agent to agent reactivity is like having a very good uh, result, I can say, in the industry, right? Then we have proactiveness. So uh, proactiveness, I can like you can see it states that initiate actions to achieve objectives, but uh, it's true actually. Let me give you an example. If I give ChatGPT a prompt to give me a draft of 14 weeks of how to master web development, for example, it will not only give you a draft of the lesson plan or something that you can follow for the next 3 months, but it will also provide you like references, YouTube channels maybe, or YouTube videos itself, so that you can learn from them. But on the first hand, it wasn't included to be given out while you were giving a prompt. Why did the LLM give you just not the lesson plan but as well as the resources? Is because of its proactiveness, that it knows that at this stage the user has asked to devise lesson plan. The next prompt might be the resources. So what it does, it gives you resources as well in the first prompt response as well. So like it saves its time as well as it saves your time as well. Okay. For example, you can see that Tesla Autopilot and robotic process automation, they also have these features that they can respond to real-time environment changes, and they can initiate actions to, for example, if you just tell it the location that you want to go to, it will like give you a Google map or maybe something with perfect directions, etc. Right? So that is what an AI agent does. And let's move to next thing, that is the challenge of reasoning in AI. See, just 1 second. Yeah. So the challenge of reasoning. See, the reasoning in AI agents is not as easy as any person would think. For example, when you were a child, you saw around your, like you were not taught Hindi or whatever your local language is, right? You took it from the environment. You learned it while everyone else was well, speaking it, right? Any language you can take as example, which is your mother tongue. Okay, so that goes same for AI as well. Like it's hard to reason with AI. Like it's hard to give AI reasons to contemplate its own thinking, its own results and responses. Okay, so one of the most important hurdle that we come across is the common sense. AI lack common sense. It's common sense itself a human term that we usually associate humans with, but a machine that is programmed to uh, like simulate a human brain can not encompass common sense itself in itself. Okay, the reason is it's hard coded at the end. Okay, it's implicit. Then we have fragility. AI struggles with novel scenarios. For example, uh, AI is not versatile, to be honest. If it is not trained on a particular for a particular situation or for a particular prompt, then it can sometimes fail to answer perfectly, right? So that's what fragility means. That something that comes out of its knowledge base. So AI struggles with it. It tries to mimic that problem uh, based on its knowledge base, and tries to associate it with the patterns and data it is trained on, but it cannot answer you very greatly if you are asking something out of the knowledge base or out of the pattern that it is trained on. Okay, then we have context. So sometimes AI doesn't reason with you. Like if you ask AI to do something in particular, and a general human would ask why did you end up in this situation, but an AI most probably wouldn't ask you. It wouldn't reason with you because it doesn't want to know the context. It is not trained to learn the context first and then response. It is then respond. It is trained on to get a prompt and respond model. Okay, so that is why that reasoning is inferring new knowledge and solving problems logically, but AI fails at that because it's at the end it cannot match patterns if it's outside its knowledge base and can fail very ridiculously. Okay. Then on the next slide, we have types of AI reasoning. These are just some types that you can go. Deductive reasoning, like it can uh, like general rules to specific conclusions, like export systems, etc. Then inductive, like specific observations to general rules, like machine learning. Abductive reasoning, that is best explanation for observations such as medical diagnostics, etc. And then neurosymbolic AI reasoning. So that combines logic with neural networks for robust interface. Okay. So current limitations and the like. Okay, so let's see. Current limitations, narrow AI, right? You might have seen there are two types of AI, narrow AI and general AI, right? Since most of the LLMs, most of the models are based on narrow AI, they have a very limited amount of knowledge base and intelligence. So that is why they have a very like they are very striveful towards learning new things and towards adapting to newer patterns. Then we have explainability, uh, you can see like difficulty in interpreting opaque black box models, etc. So black box models is a type of is a kind of AI model. Okay, so yeah, most probably you will see that all the LLMs or all the AI that you are talking with, AI agents that you are using within your automations, etc., they fail to like interpret opaque models, not just black box, but any opaque model in general. Okay, then robustness, vulnerability to adversarial attacks. If you ask ChatGPT to create a website or something, it will give you a very generic website. It won't give you a website that is secure, obviously. So yeah, that's most probably it. And then the research focus, developing AI with stronger casual understanding and common sense is what we need to find. Okay, in the path going forward, we need to focus on AI with the stronger understanding of context, the very stronger uh, like the AI which we should be developing is should be adaptive to the prompt, and then it should also focus more on the thought of chain method. Okay, so like if like it should learn from itself. Okay, then it's just a very conclusion regarding AI, etc. AI thinking effectively mimics human cognitive functions in specific tasks. Then true consciousness, reasoning's role, and what the future of AI is. So, well, AI thinking at the end is nothing just an artificial. Obviously, AI itself is a artificial intelligence, an intelligence that is artificially created to mimic humans and our intelligence, right? So that is what AI thinking is. It mimics human cognitive functions. Then uh, it should focus on, remaining an open, philosophical and scientific. Like it can only answer you with, it can only answer you with based on the knowledge base that it already has. Okay. Then reasoning's role. Obviously, as I mentioned, there are different types of reasonings that helps an AI to develop more and more further and train itself accordingly, right? For example, it's essential for AI to handle complex and real world problems as well. So for that, the very first step is to get a context out of the prompt, uh, like the very basic of thought. Thought chain of thought method. Okay, then it should be adaptive. It should give you more philosophical responses as well, not just like scientific responses. Okay, then future, we should focus on AI that are adaptable. Okay, so yeah, that's probably it regarding the that's probably it regarding the AI. Now let's head back into Azure AI and what it does specifically. Okay, so let me share my screen with you. One second, just yeah. Okay, yeah, it is. Okay, cool, great. So let's focus on the Azure side of AI agents. Okay, so our topic today will be AI agents in Azure. So, without like before starting, let me introduce myself again. I am software engineer intern at Reskill, and you can connect me on LinkedIn and GitHub here. Then let's move into the main screen. That is, let's set the scene. Okay, first use case: working for an e-commerce selling camping equipment, and we wanna analyze sales data. For example, we are on a trek, we are on a journey, and we find ourselves in a situation where we need to analyze sales data of selling of an e-commerce which sells camping equipments. Okay, specifically. Okay, so AI can help us in analyzing such data within a very short span of time, most probably in milliseconds as well. Okay, what an agent is. So, agents are semi autonomous software that can be given a goal. All AI agents serve a very specific goal so that it can fulfill its job, fulfill its function, fulfill its uh, working based on the functionalities that it already has. Okay, and it will work to achieve that goal without you knowing in advance exactly how it's gonna do that or what steps it's gonna take. Earlier, in around 2016, 2017, we used to build Jarvis AI, right, using the Python. We used to import multiple Python libraries and then connect ourselves with audio models, then text to audio models, and audio to text models, etc., etc. Right? Agents are what we wanted to build at that time also. Jarvis, for example, can be taken like in our initial a step of our coding journey. We might have tried to build a Jarvis using Python, but that Jarvis itself is an AI agent example. Okay, now an agent needs to accomplish three important things. These are reason over a provided business process. Okay, so as I mentioned previously, that why reasoning is important in AI. An agent uh, has the following tasks. One is to reason over a provided business process, then retrieve context to complete the process, and then perform an action from the end user. We'll be going into depth of these things later on this session. So let's move. How can an agent help us? You can try to pen down multiple reasons why an agent helps us, how an agent can help us, and one of the most common thing that I have recently found is that people are building automation agents. Yeah, so recently people are building automation that focuses on creating a YouTube short and then upload it directly and then upload the link of the YouTube shot uploaded onto a Google Sheet and then or Microsoft Excel and then change the status to complete or published. Okay, so this automation is an example of what an agent can help us with. Okay, it can help us with automating our daily tasks for content creators. It can be creating content and publishing it on their social platforms. For many other people, for example, if I'm in an analytics team, then I can create an automation that can take like sheets, Excel sheets every day, and then like analyze it and give me a very prompt uh, that it can give me a very analytical text from the prompts. Okay, then let me share a demo of Contoso sales agents. So, well, like it's a demo, and I hope that many of you will find it interesting. So let me share with you what a Contoso sales AI assistant does. Okay. So one second. Okay, cool. So see, let's imagine yourself as a sales manager at Contoso, a multinational retail company. Okay, that sells outdoor equipment, and you need to analyze sales data to like find trends, understand your customer preferences, and make informed business decisions. And to help you, Contoso has developed a conversational assistant. So it had developed a ChatGPT like bot, most probably, that can answer questions about your sales data. So see, Contour Sales Bob Assistant is very great example of retrieval augmented generation model, RAG model, RAG. Okay, so what an RAG does is a two-way, like you can assume it as a funnel. Okay, on the one hand, it can take your question as in like as a prompt. Then on the other hand, it can like based on like it you can provide it a knowledge base, a PDF most probably, which has rules and regulations about your company. It can take input, like for example you ask for example you are asking something related to financial department of your company. So you are asking how is the like this and that is working in the financial department. So the what any assistant, what contact sales assistant does is it takes your input, your prompt as question, and finds like scans the knowledge base you have already provided it, and then provides a response promptly. Okay, so that is how any retrieval augmented generation model works, as well as that's how contact sales assistant is also developed. Then the app, as we can see, that this CSA is a conversational agent. So an agent that you can have conversations with. Okay, that can answer questions about sales data, generate charts, and create Excel files for further analysis. Okay, so it also not just answers you, but it can also generate things from uh, given prompt. Okay, the app is built with like Azure OpenAI GPT-4o, then Azure OpenAI Assistant API, and the Chainlit web framework. All the three of them are to some credits free for you to use. You can also go to this website to like mimic and try to create an assistant that does the same job as the CSA does. Okay, then the app uses SQLite console database. It is with 40,000 rows and synthetic data. It's just a database, okay, and nothing else. So, like you have provided it with data source. When the app starts, it reads the sales database schema. So, database schema is a document that when you are initiating your app code, this schema file is run first and it creates all the necessary files needed to be created, like tables to be created in your database. Okay, and while you restart any project or any app, the schema file, if already been executed, will skip that part. Okay, now product categories, prototypes, and reporting layers and the system instructions, API instruction context. So you can go around this and you can learn about everything here. Like it has everything, including Azure OpenAI Assistance APIs and orchestrator. Why Azure OpenAI Assistance API is useful. Like it can manage multiple tools and function based on user input. It can like use parameters like tool choice. It directs tasks to right tools seamlessly with a single request, and it can also maintain context across workflows. Okay, so that's most probably it regarding this thing. Why is so yeah, why you should use it's stateful, it has reduced development, context management, powerful native tools, and third party extensibility. So you can also use third party applications as well along with your like sales assistant or whatever you're building. It's scalable and it has context execution, one of the most important factor of reasoning in AI. An AI agent must include context while providing any solution. So yeah, so that's just difference. I think the table that compares OpenAI assistants with Chat Completions API. So Chat Completions API is similar to Azure's Assistants API, but the Azure OpenAI Assistant API is more, not more, but it is extensively better in utilizing it for any conversational GPTs or LLMs basically. Then you can find multiple assistant components. An assistant already is there, a thread, a conversation session between an assistant. So for example, on ChatGPT, you might have seen like your previous chats on the left hand side right here. Okay, so that's what a thread means. Like each particular tab there is a thread. Okay, then a message created by assistant or a user. It can if it's created by user, then it's a prompt. If it's created by an assistant, then it's a result. Then run and run steps. So run is activation of an assistant to begin running, and run step is a detailed list of steps the AI assistant took as part of a run. So like for example, if started with if it ran your prompt and gave you a result, so there are multiple steps in between them. For example, there's encoding, there's decoding, etc., in RAG models. So that's what run step does. Then we'll get into this in our PPT in later this session. And yeah, you can go to like from here on, I think. Uh, yeah, from here on, you'll find the model, the demo, which you can utilize to help yourselves with uh, like creating your contour sales assistant. Okay, you can develop it, uh, and after development you can deploy it. So one of the most intriguing thing about this CSA is that every code will be focused on Python. It was like Python or C++, so it will be easier for you to grab onto this. Okay, now slide, let's go to, okay, so we have completed contour sales agent. Let's go to how does the contour sales assistant work. So it's gonna be complex, but I hope you will pay attention to this section. Okay, so Azure AI agent service securely build deploy. Okay, so it's about Azure AI. You should look up about it. I'll introduce Azure AI Foundry to you later on. Okay, so let's move to the solution architecture of CSA. Okay, so a CSA app is based on two fundamentals: chainlet framework, web framework, and then query functions. Okay, then Azure AI agent service that is connected to this sales agent app. It has instructions that we provided and models which it will train itself on. Okay, then actions. What actions can be taken? So you can take actions as functionalities of that particular app. So it can function like the CSA can function call, code interpret, file search, or ground with being search. Okay, let's understand how we can create an agent. So it's the steps that is needed. So step one, we create an agent, then we create a thread. Okay, so I have created an LLM agent. Let's remove LLM from our minds. Let's think about agents. So I've created an agent. I went onto the site. I started a thread. I typed my message and ran the agent. Then I checked the done status, and then the agent's response is displayed on the screen. That's how everything works in the backend. Now in CSA, in you are and for, like I have created an agent called Contour to Sales Agent. The instructions I will provide it is you are an advanced sales analysis agent for Contour, specializing in assisting users with sales data inquiries. So I have provided this particular instruction. Based on this instruction only, the result will be created. Okay, will be generated. What models I have? I have multiple models. For example, I can use Meta APIs, I can use Gemini, I can use Azure OpenAI. Okay, so there's so many data, so many models that I can use to give particular agent. Okay, then my data, I can provide my data as well, so that it can also search into my data as well, so that if there is any question that is locally present in my data, it can provide the solution based on that. For example, I can use tools like Azure AI Search, and I can like even use Azure Blog. It is used to provide local files to a particular model. Remember, providing your external database, knowledge base is completely optional. It's not needed to be done. Then we have tools. These are also optional, but you can like select tools according to your needs, like file search, code interpreter, etc., etc. You can find it on the bottom mid. Okay. A thread, sales analysis. User gave a message. So user's message was, tell me the total sales by region. Agent's message was, first when the user gave its message, they ran the message, they ran the agent. Then first it called the function tool and using this SQLite database, and then it created a message and sent it as agent's message. Here is sales, Europe, America, etc. Okay, so user asked show as a pie chart. So after this message is ran, the code interpreter tool is used, and the instruction given is create a pie chart, and then pie chart is given as a agent's message. Okay, function calling. In the previous slide, we saw function calling here, right? Right, curious collect database. Let's see what function calling is. The capability of LLMs to take in user-defined functions as inputs and generate structured outputs. So I gave a file to my LLM, and it ran it and provided me output structurally generated from the knowledge base that I provided it. So suggestively, I gave it an instruction. So the instruction went into the function. So you can see a Python script here. Then added to this is the user's question: what were the sales for April 23? So after like getting in after based on an instruction and a function and adding on the user message, we get a response. We get to create an script uh, which goes into the LLM based on this particular SQLite Python SQLite query script. Okay, then agents components. An agent is based on model and instruction. A thread is a user's message which, when runs, uses tools, then generates message and sends the message to agent, which agent displays as its own message, and then this thread continues on. This conversation goes on long enough. Okay, so there are multiple like assistant playground user interface. So this is how a very basic conversational GPT would look like. Okay, conversational agent would look like. So yeah, that was it. Azure OpenAI Assistance API. What it helps is it provides function calling, code generation, file search, and context management as tools. Okay. Then I have already discussed how does your AI like agent work. So it takes a question from user, then it's like it a user sends a question, a prompt into the context of sales agent. Then context of sales agents uses the knowledge sources, as I mentioned, uses the models, and then uses the actions, the tools. Okay, and based on these three, it provides a it generates a response and then sends it back to the user. What's interesting here is we can see that the basics of natural language processing, dynamic SQL generation, orchestration, and integration of data and processes. Okay, so all these three basic concepts methods are running in the back. Okay, so we are in our chapter 3. So recently, I read this research paper which talked about multimodal large language models. Okay, so LLMs, which focused it on multi LLMs pattern. Okay, so let's talk about multi-agent pattern. An AI multi-agent system consists of multiple intelligent agents that interact and collaborate to solve complex tasks, share information, and achieve goals autonomously or semi-autonomously. An AI agent is semi-autonomously created. Okay, multi-agent pattern is similar to agent pattern. Okay, where more than like two or more than two agents are collaborating with each other and interacting with each other and solving complex tasks. So multi-agent, so let me share the pattern. So like we have a group chat, so where an art director and copywriter talks between themselves and focuses on like giving a primary context, and then when asked by user it can provide that particular context. So this is more favorable in getting more accurate results. Okay, because more than one agent is involved in this. Then we can see many examples. For example, AutoGen, state-of-the-art research SDKs. And then we have semantic kernels, which are production-ready and stable SDKs. Okay. So here's a video which I would like to show you. Let me open this for you. And URL. So after this, okay, we'll be going into this. So wait a second. Let me share this particular YouTube video with you. It's a very beneficial video. It's a 7 minutes long video. I hope you will have many uh, knowledge from it. Hopefully. Mm, yes. let me mute myself for the video.
It's really straightforward. On the right-hand side, you'll see a repo, which I'll put a link to in the docs. You want to navigate to the Azure AI CLI. You'll see over on the left-hand side screen, I've got that project open in CodeSpaces. The first thing you want to do is you want to do AI init. And what AI init will do is connect the project to Azure resources. So AI init, I've already authenticated. So what it's going to come up and do is just ask me to select a subscription. By the way, this stuff here you would do before the session, not during the session. Type in question mark, select your subscription, and then I'm going to select a resource, an OpenAI resource. In this case here, it's East US Proxy. And I'm going to select the GPT-4o model that I've got selected. And I'm going to select an embeddings model. Now, the project doesn't actually use embeddings, but in fact, you can just skip it if you don't want to use it, but you don't need to use it. Okay, so what that's done is it's set up a whole lot of environment variables with all the environment variables for the application to connect to those resources. Okay, so back on the right-hand side, we just scroll down a bit further. The next thing what we're going to do is we're going to run this command here called AI dev new SK semantic kernel chat with agents. And we're just going to paste that in on the left-hand side into the code spaces. And what that's done is it's created a project. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go across to and just change to that folder. And then what I'm going to do is just start up code. Now that will load up a new window. Now it's about this point you want to be ready for the demo. So this is kind of where you start off. So that's just to take a moment to load that project up in code spaces. You'll also be prompted to for the GitHub repository. I wouldn't worry too much about that. In a moment, you should also be prompted, if I go and select program.cs, you'll be prompted to install C# devkit. Okay, so that'll take a moment to install. Again, you'll do this before the session. Alrighty, so we'll just go back to the File Explorer and we'll go and look at programs.cs. Now, the idea is to make this screen a little bit bigger so folk can see it. And really all you're going to do is talk through a couple of personas. So we've got, in fact, this is also detailed over here in the docs. So we've got a copywriter persona. And you can see that this is basically its system prompt. You are a copywriter with 10 years of experience, known to be for brevity, dry humor. Read out as much as you want, but you want to give the idea is this is one of the personas and this is what this persona is going to do as part of the agent. Next thing I'm going to talk about is you've got another persona called art director. In this case here, you're an art director who has opinions about copywriting born for the love of David Ogilvy. David Ogilvy was kind of considered to be the father of marketing. And then there's kind of two arbitrators. So there's one arbitrator here, which is called is chat done prompt template. And basically this is just trying to figure out, has the conversation between these two personas come to an end? And has it been approved? And the second arbitrator here is basically who goes next. And all it's doing is looking at the history of the conversation and determining who's going next. Now that's really all you need to do is you need to get across the idea that you've got a couple of personas and they're going to work towards a goal. And it's going to be kind of automated. Now, what we're going to do is, once you talked about that, we are going to come down here and we're going to run this command called AI dev shell. And all that's going to do is going to set up all the exports for the environment variables for the Azure OpenAI resources. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to run this thing called .NET run. Going to run that, and then we're going to build the application. Just move the screen around so it's a bit more space. Make sure you've got a good size font. And you'll see down the bottom here, we'll just make this a little bit bigger. And you'll see that we've now got the user, and the prompt we're going to put in, or the question we're going to put in, is we're going to say, Contoso sells good tints for beginners and adventurers. And what this agent is going to do is between the copywriter and the art director, between those two personas, they're going to come to the conclusion of what is good copyright for a marketing campaign for Contoso. Okay, so Contoso sells good tense for beginners adventurers. Alrighty, now what we'll see here is you can see that the personas and how they're starting to communicate. Again, we'll just make this a bit bigger. And you'll see that the first one that kicked off is the assistant copyright. And the first attempt of this is Contoso, perfect tense for beginners adventurers for everybody. Great. Now the next thing that's going to come up is say the assistant director persona is going to say not approved, the copy lacks strong hook and clarity. And then we'll go down here a bit further and you'll see that there is another attempt now by the copywriter, which is here to discover your next adventure with tense, Contoso tense, perfect for blah, blah, blah. And then we'll see the assistant art director, and you'll see it's now got approved. And that is a trigger. If you remember, there was a trigger up in the program, in one of the personas, one of the arbitrators, to say, okay, it's been approved. So it approved, discover your next adventure for Contoso sense, perfect tense for outcomes. And you'll see it's done. So you can see what's going on is you've got two personas interacting with each other using the GPT-4o model, and there's an arbitrator, basically personas which are looking to figure out, okay, is this conversation ended? And that's a demo. Really straightforward, but you can see these kind of two personas and what they're doing to try and get to a great solution and do that autonomously. Okay, so that's the demo. Quite a fun, easy demo for people to understand.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's how you can create a working Contoso sales assistant. Let me share again the here. One second. Okay, so we were here, right? We did this. Let's move to takeaways from this session. So, what we learned to do more with LLMs using function calling, and we tried to take it to next level with AI agent services to get function calling, code generation, file search, and more. We also saw Azure AI agent services framework, semantic kernel, and autogen, which are an example of AI multi AI patterns, and we saw use UI or code to build your agents. Okay, so thank you everyone. You can find the resource of this session on this QR code if you want to scan it, and um, if you have any particular feedback, please provide it on this particular QR. Will be happy to look at it. And the other sessions that you can try to join is here. Like I have provided a list of sessions as well as workshops that may help you to get started with AI and AI agents specifically. Okay, so that's so yeah, that's it most probably. And thank you everyone for joining today's session. I hope you all had a great learning. And you can Google, you can go on to YouTube to learn about, to get yourself started with AI and for AI agents in any language basically. So आप किसी भी language में सीख सकते हो. Just utilize YouTube. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you.